So here's how my cycle syncing journey went over the past 30 days. All right, so let's talk about the definition of cycle syncing and why we should do it. So, from what I found online, cycle syncing is the practice of aligning your workouts, nutrition, self-care, and lifestyle patterns according to each phase of your menstrual cycle. What? Like, what are you talking about? Like, we just have to worry about our periods, right? No, they didn't teach you that. They didn't teach me that. I didn't learn that until this year. So, throughout the menstrual cycle, there's different phases in our cycle besides our menstrual phase where we have our period that we need to work on. That's essentially what cycle syncing is. And now I'm going to go into how I did it, and not how you should do it, but how I did it and what worked for me and what didn't work for me. So honestly, I didn't do that much research just because I've seen it all around. I'm like, you know what, I'll just get a cycle syncing sheet that gives me a general idea of what I need to do because I'm busy. I'm a busy girl. I just need the highlights, okay? So all I did was went on Pinterest, found a nice looking sheet, printed it out, and went by that. And then I also used my Flow app, which is a period tracking or menstrual cycle tracking app, as a reference. Is this the best way to do it? Probably not, but I did it anyways because I'm busy, all right? It's the easiest way I can keep my thoughts in line and understand what I'm supposed to be doing for each cycle. I have a calendar as well. I wrote on it, so I have a visual, another visual, or multiple. And yeah, so that's pretty much how I did it. And I just went by the different categories that it had, which was based off of productivity, movement, social, diet, and wellness. And it basically goes through each cycle, like your menstrual phase, your follicular phase, and your ovulatory phase, and your luteal phase. And it goes through for each of those categories of what's recommended for you to do during those phases. And I'm like, you know what? That's good for me. I'm going to use that, and that's what I did. So I'm going to go over what I learned and what went well, what didn't go well, whatever. What did I learn? So after the, I guess you could say 30 days, but month, there were times where I was trying to follow the sheet, and I realized that I've already was like intuitively following that worksheet and following what my body needed for each phase. Not perfectly, but almost perfectly, which is kind of cool because I'm like, oh, I thought I was like completely off track on what my body needed because I'm always tired, but that's a different issue and we'll get to that. But that's what I've learned. And the other lesson that I learned was giving myself a little bit more grace that I'm not being as consistent as I want to be every day, because I'm not a robot and I'm not built as a man where I can do the same things 24/7. That's pretty much how they're built. They got energy up here and then all more energy by the end of the day, and then they're back up again every day, which is cool. Wish I had that, but I don't, because I'm a woman and I got a cycle. So that's number 2. And then number 3 is there are things on the diet at the end of each phase that are helpful and are nice to have just for variety. I don't think I really, felt any different or, had any crazy symptoms, or whether I ate turkey or salmon one day. It was nice to have, but I don't think it really changed much. Maybe I need to look more into the diet section versus just highlights of what I should eat. But they were nice to have. And then on top of that, this is kind of my 4th, but on top of that, I really wish I kept some recipes on hand for each cycle. And I know there's women out there that actually post about those things for each phase, which is kind of cool. I'll see if I can find the lady that I'm talking about, but I have her on the Lemon 8 app. And yeah, I just wish I had those at hand so that I can like use them, because I'm so lazy that just looking at the ingredient that I'm supposed to have during that cycle wasn't really helpful. Well, it was helpful to know, but I would buy it and then I would just be like, now what? Like, do I just make it with like rice and veggies? Like, I don't know. I was just lazy, and I should have just looked up a recipe like a normal person, and then I would have been fine, but I didn't. So wish I did that. That would have been nice. And then lastly, I know that there are still things that I need to manage on my own, such as sleep, stress, and my diet. And relying on all those things that are highlighted for each phase that are suggested, it's not going to solve all my problems, because, you know, not everything is going to be helpful for you, and maybe it is helpful for you if you've done a cycle syncing, but, you know, I'm not saying that it won't be helpful at all. It's just it will limit the amount of problems that you'll have during that phase if you don't do those things, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I would say, yeah, there's things that I'm like, all right, I just need to manage the rest of the stuff and then apply these other things that are really suggested, and maybe it'll be better. Maybe it'll be a better experience. But for me, I don't think it really, at the end of the day or at the end of the cycle, I didn't feel any different. Everything felt kind of the same. Maybe if I extended it, if I did it for a longer period of time versus only 30 days or only once full cycle, that might be the issue. And like, maybe I'm not consistent. Maybe I just need to be more consistent on these things. And yeah, like next steps, I will definitely try again and try some things differently, like doing more research on the diet or the hormonal piece of things for the cycle syncing journey. And if you're listening to this, go do that research, because research is your friend, and you can't, there's not much that, you know, it's not going to hurt to know that information. Obviously, don't go too deep in a rabbit hole and think like, oh, it has to be perfect to a T. I am at fault of doing that all the time, but I thought I'd try this without too much expectations, because your girl's busy. So we're living life. We're figuring it out. We're in our 20s. We're doing our thing. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened during this cycle syncing for 30 days. And would I do it again? Yeah, of course. Really doesn't hurt to do any of those things. And would I do things differently? Yeah, sure. Why not? It didn't stop me from doing anything. But yeah, I thought, the worksheet that I had was a really good introduction into cycle syncing and working on that journey. And instead of us just living day by day like we're robots and trying to be consistent and doing the whole, I do it right now, but doing the whole 75 hard or challenges all the time, at least doing something for your body for once that your body actually needs. And yeah, just trying it out. It really can't hurt to try it out and see if it works for you or not. And yeah, so it was a fun experience. It was really cool to see, different things that it suggested me to do, and really cool to see that I was already intuitively wanting to do those things. Like, for example, for productivity, I wanted to wake up early, or I wanted to plan a project during after my period, or when I was ovulating. I wanted to go to network events, or I wanted to have big meetings, or wake up like have morning walks in the morning. Like I was already doing those things, which was really cool and very convenient. But yeah, like you don't have to go, you know, do everything to a T, but just try them out and see if it works for you or if your body enjoys it. And yeah, so I think, those kind of things are really cool to do and really cool to get into, especially as a woman, because your body's changing so much throughout your age, like throughout your ages. And yeah, I just think this was a cool experience, and I would definitely do it again. I would highly suggest, probably extending it versus what I was doing versus like the 30 days, because I try to just do like a 30-day challenge. But I really think if I put in work for like a year, I feel like this is for everything, or anything that you do, but if I really tried doing this for a whole year, holy guacamole, my life would probably be different. And there's other things that I need to work on, like I mentioned, like my sleep. I don't have a very consistent sleep schedule, or I don't have a great stress management system that I do, or my diet. It's literally all over the place. But, we're all just living. We're all just trying to figure it out. But I just thought I'd come on here and give you all the rundown, because I feel like nowadays people, do these challenges. Great. They do great, whatever. Good for them. But there's some challenges that I just want to put out there and not be fake about it, and not like say like, yeah, it was great. Like I had the best time ever and I am a new person. Honestly, no, I'm not. But maybe if we adjust the things that we do and try to make them better and try them again, that'll inspire you guys to try things, even if you don't think it's going to work, or try them again if you want to do things and do it differently. That's the whole point of my channel, honestly, is to do things, see if it works out. Doesn't work out, maybe try it again next time, but with a different plan. And showing you guys my journey in those things. And if you like how I talk about these things, like health, fitness, life, or beauty and makeup and fashion, whatnot, like and subscribe. That's pretty much the end of this video. I don't want to talk anymore. My voice doesn't want to talk anymore, but I really appreciate you listening. And yeah, I hope this was helpful. And if it wasn't, don't hesitate to tell me no, or to tell me that, because I'm working on myself. I'm working on this stuff. So yeah. Well, thanks for joining me. As always, catch you in the next video, and